Yes, hello, magandang hapon. And sabi nga nila, as they say it in New Zealand or Kiwi slang, kia ora. And of course, to our English speaking listeners, good afternoon. And to our Filipino listeners, magandang hapon. And hope everyone is having a good day. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, magandang hapon, good morning. And sabi mo nga, kia ora. Since we're based here in New Zealand, we're based in Wellington. Wellington today is actually a really good day. I've just finished my kayaking and I've done some errand because
That's
we
really
have blue
cool.
skies and a lot of people are outside to enjoy the sun.
Well, it's probably quite obvious with the sunshine all over
That's
my
right.
face. But yeah. So first of all, Mike, why are we here? Bakit nga ba tayo nandito? Anong ginagawa natin dito ngayon?
All right. So, well, we're doing this, Joseph, with the aim to basically reach not only our kababayans, but also other nationalities,
Yep.
so that we can, talk about our experiences, personal experiences, living here in New Zealand as an IT professional. And of course, along the way, we'll be sharing those journey, and hopefully they can learn lessons through our experience.
All right, Mike, since you already mentioned that, I think it's just right to welcome everyone to what we intend to be a podcast. So actually, we have a working title for the podcast,
right.
as suggested by a very good friend of ours. And we're trying to establish a podcast called PaNZIT. So it's
I like that.
PAN said IT. Why? Bakit nga ba PaNZIT? Why PaNZIT?
Well, it's a shortcut for Pinoys as New Zealand IT professional. That's the PaNZIT.
That sounds good. And for those who don't know what PaNZIT is in the Filipino culture, it's quite staple, right, Mike? It's staple on Filipino celebrations. It's something that we eat regularly. And we even believe that it gives you long life when you have it on your birthday celebration, right?
That's right.
So hopefully, ganun din yung maging goal natin for this podcast, that we not really long life, but we give a better life, a better life to all our kababayans through our sharings, the lessons that we've learned. So that's why I think we can call our listeners kapansitan. So yeah, I think that's kind of good one.
I actually like that as well, Joseph. That seems to be a very catchy name for the podcast that we're working on, and as well as very makababayan when it comes to listeners as well.
Something that everyone can relate. So as you already said, Mike, our main goal here is to share our story. Not only personal stories natin, but also the personal stories of Filipinos living abroad, specifically in the IT profession, right? And along the way, we also want to talk about technologies, right? Different technologies, not just people, but also, to keep them posted on what's the latest now, because we all know that technology is rapidly changing and we need to keep ourselves updated.
Yeah. So you touch about the technology, and we both work for an IT company, Red Hat specifically. We have Fedora hats at our back.
That's right.
That shows.
That's a Red Hat.
Yeah. So anyway, why don't we start on talking about each other so that we can introduce ourselves to our listeners as well.
Actually, I think that's a good start, right? So currently we're in New Zealand, but it's probably just right to share to everyone how we got here, probably how we started our career, and I think it's better that you started because you're the one who brought me to New Zealand anyway. If that's fine.
Okay.
You good with that?
Okay, I'll take that honor of starting as usual. But anyway, okay, so. Yeah, so for me, it took a little bit of a journey for me to arrive here in New Zealand. As you know, as all IT professionals, Filipino IT professional, we start learning our crafts in the Philippines. I work in many organizations in the Philippines. One of those which I'm very proud of to be a part of Chica Asia,
Mm.
where I really honed my skills on open source. And after that, I joined Shell in Malaysia as
Yep.
a systems engineer, and there I meet a person which I can call my mentor that
Mm-hmm.
helps me shape my career. And his name is Darrell. And Darrell is actually an Englishman who works for Shell as well.
Sorry, alarm.
It looks like okay, all good. And he was the one who actually told me
Mm-hmm.
that, Mike, you're doing a lot of good stuff here in Shell. If you continue doing that, you can easily make your mark in IT community,
Mm-hmm.
and it can change your life, by uh, joining other organization which really can support your family. And that opened my eyes, and through that journey I managed to join multiple other companies that brings me to work in Australia. I
Mm-hmm.
stayed in Australia for about 5 years, and then I moved here in New Zealand to join Datacom, which is a New Zealand owned company, where I manage a team of I think that was 28 people who were a BAU team, and that's where I hire
Yeah.
Joseph to join the team because
6 years ago, I think.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's right. And after that, I joined Red Hat as a senior TAM,
Mm.
which is a technical account manager, and now I am a solutions architect for New Zealand government and FSI customers. So that's basically my journey on how I managed to arrive here in New Zealand.
It sounds really like not really a very easy journey, but it's quite I think a meaningful one,
Hmm.
should I say? And alam mo, I really like the thing that you touched about mentorship because someone mentored you and someone
Yeah.
encouraged you to like go further because we know you
Mm,
can do it. I think that's something we can talk about in the future, perhaps
mm,
in the podcast, mentorship
mm,
in general.
mm.
So thanks for that, Mike. I think I would start with my story when I started as a cadet engineer at Globe Telecom. So,
Yeah.
yeah, my first job was a cadet engineer at Globe. I used to work for their prepaid charging system. So that's how I
All right.
managed to be connected to the IT industry. Legacy
Mm,
Linux stuffs before, huge
mm,
servers.
mm,
It's way different than what it is right now. So that's how I
mm,
started. Then after that, my second job is actually where we met. So we were
mm,
working for a managed service provider that is
mm.
catering to
Uh,
Australian companies rather. You were
yeah.
in Australia, I was in the Philippines, so that's
Mm,
how we first met. And
that's
then
right.
after that, I worked for Macquarie Bank, also from
Mm,
Australia. So
mm,
yun na. After Macquarie, I think that's the time you contacted me and said, "Are you interested
mm,
to go to New Zealand?" Um, yeah, maybe because New Zealand is
mm,
such a beautiful place, and
mm,
I do
mm,
remember when I was being interviewed by our previous manager Daryl. He said,
mm,
"Why do you want to go
mm,
to New Zealand?" And I think
mm.
part of it is the quality of life,
Yeah, that's right.
balanced life. I love the outdoors, and that's what
Mm,
brought me here. And now
mm,
I'm enjoying everything. So
that's right. Mm,
after we worked together at Natacom, I
mm.
also moved to Red Hat. I think that was just about a year ago, exactly almost about a
Yes.
year ago,
Mm-hmm.
11 months ago during the
Mm.
pandemic. And
Yeah.
I'm now working as a technical account manager,
Mm.
supporting also FSI or the financial
Financial
services and also
services.
the
Mm.
some government accounts here in Wellington, New Zealand. So
Mm.
yeah, that's practically my story, and
That's right.
I think
Yeah.
it's quite a good one as well. It's not always easy,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's always take
Yeah.
going out of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah. And I would like to highlight that I think it's important here in New Zealand that someone gets recommended to for a job. I think
Mm.
that weight a lot. for people to actually get the role, especially if you are choosing on a group of applicants with the same, almost the same, I would
Yep.
say, technical skills. Yeah,
Because that's important because you already know the person, you know their
that's right.
character, how they work, and their work standards, basically.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's
and it's
that's
very important.
practically all
Yeah.
about us, Mike.
Yeah, and just want to touch something. I think it's very important also to touch that, in New Zealand, joining a company, it's important that you fit in the culture of that company, and
Yep.
that's something that I would say our kababayans, or not only our kababayans, but any people who wanted to join an organization here in New Zealand should understand,
And I
so
think
that
it's
they
not
are
just in
aware.
New Zealand in general. Maybe in the future, when we speak to, for example,
Mm,
IT professionals in the US, in Canada,
mm,
in the UK, hopefully we get
that's
to
right.
invite some of them. They can also
Yeah,
share about those experiences, like
absolutely.
integrating into the society, into the culture in general. Because
That's right.
I reckon each country has their own style. Like kanya-kanya yan eh. They have their own norms, how they
Mm,
treat, how they work with each other at the office.
mm, mm,
Just like here, we love like coffee and Friday
mm,
beers, stuff like that.
mm.
So
Yeah,
it's really
absolutely.
more of a
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So we touch our humble beginnings, how we
Mhm.
managed to reach and work together here in New Zealand. How about we talk about our current role and what
Mhm.
are we doing right now? So since I started earlier, can
Yeah.
you would you be able to start this time?
Yeah, all right. I'll make it quick for me because I think it's quite simple. I can summarize it in a few words. So,
Mm,
being a technical account manager for Red Hat, I just wanted to like make sure that our customers make the most
mm,
of the Red Hat products that they subscribe into. Yung mga subscriptions in that, I just need to
mm,
ensure that everything is working well for them. At the same time,
mm,
they, as I've said, they make the most out of all the benefits that Red Hat is
mm,
providing them. So, in short, I want to make them successful through our Red Hat products. And as an add-on service, me being a SATAM, I always make sure that I cater to their needs because I think each and every account or each and every customer is unique, right? So some of them are they have a certain level of maturity. They want to progress further and
that's right.
adapt our technology further. Or some of them they wanted or they need more guidance when it comes to like best practices.
Mm,
How do we make sure that everything is working well? So those
mm,
kind of post sales or more of operations kind of work. That's how I engage with our customers
that's right.
basically.
Yeah,
So that's me as a
yeah,
TAM or technical account manager. How about
yeah.
mga solutions architect?
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah,
guys work?
yeah. So actually, I just because I was a tab myself or
Yeah,
technical account manager, I just want to add something in what you said that I think as a tab you are an advocate as well
that's
of the
right.
customer towards the
Yep.
company that you're
It's
working on.
like
So
it's
yeah,
like me being their teammate inside Red Hat. I
yeah,
make sure
that's right.
that whatever they need from us at Red Hat is
Yeah,
something that I'll be able to provide. And I'm
correct,
always happy
correct.
to do that because I'm helping them out. It's really a good feeling that you're helping them out on what they need,
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
especially on like I think you will touch on this as well because I know
Mm,
that you work on a lot of projects related to the pandemic
mm, mm,
response. So
mm.
yeah, maybe you can share a bit about that.
Yeah, so I am a solutions architect for Red Hat. So as a solutions architect, I am actually part of the sales arm of Red Hat.
Mm.
So I am focused right now on the major government customers and one FSI customer. And as a solutions architect, I am actually working hand in hand with our account manager. The account manager are the people that are selling out the product, while solutions architect are the person that talks to the customer, understand their use case, uh, provide solutions based on their use case, and
Mhm.
bring some other expert if need to so that they can maximize the product that a vendor like us are selling. Right? So that's basically solutions architect. So as a solutions architect, you need to understand and you need to be able to translate the use cases, the problem into the business conversation as well. So the cost of investment is being discussed.
Yeah.
The return of investment is also in a conversation. How long the project will go, what are the type of skills that is needed on that project. So solutions architect, that's those uh, conversation requirements, and then we bring in experts from our end to actually further the conversation. So
Uh-huh.
as a solutions architect, we want to make sure that, yeah, just like Tam, when customers adapt to use our product, they basically become successful in using that product. So, and the reason why we want them to be successful is, of course, as a person who works for Red Hat and delivering services to
Uh-huh.
government agency, I want to see that my money, the new as a New Zealand citizen, are
Taxpayers, right?
spent wisely. Yeah,
Correct.
that's right. So
Exactly.
so that's also where I come from a personal
Of course.
what you call this point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And as a solutions architect, you also need to be a trusted advisor. You
Uh-huh.
know, trusted as advisor is when you need to get something or you need to ask something. Uh, the customers that you're calling needs to can answer your question right away, or when they call you, or every time they are wondering of something, they call
Yep.
you right away, then that's good also.
Correct.
A solutions architect also can talk to different level. You need to be able to talk to a really technical person, the one
Mm-hmm.
that is doing the coding and scripting, or doing the watering and the feeding of the system, to a very high level person, the CXO, that talks about what is the benefits of the product, what are the problems that this product solve, how is it going to help them in their 6 months to 12 months to 3 years roadmap or approach on their business. So these things is the combination of the skills that a solutions architect. Actually, Joseph, there is an article, and I'm going to shamelessly
Mm.
plug this. There's an article that was written by our colleague,
Yep.
Marjorie Freeman,
Yep.
when she interviewed me and asked, "What is solutions architect?" And
Mm-hmm.
I actually give them a better explanation, because that they she asked me in a structured question, and I managed to give her an answer, and I'm very proud of that article, by the way. So yeah,
Definitely.
that's basically
How will they
what
find
I
that
am
article?
recommending.
Are you able to like share, or probably they can just search for keywords and stuff?
I think, yeah, that they can go to enable architect,
Ah, that's right.
and then
Red Hat Enable Architect. Yes.
yeah, Red Hat enable architect, and what is a solutions architect. I think they can search that in Google and then find out. And if we are going to upload this on Facebook, maybe we can add that as an additional reference
Yep.
to this recording.
Correct. That's really cool, Mike. And thanks for sharing what a solutions architect is. And definitely,
Mm,
guys, you need to check that article. You already
mm,
touched on it a bit, but I think one
mm,
of our goals on the podcast is also
mm,
to not just to share, right? And I think one of the
mm,
things that we're doing as well is writing.
mm.
I know that you
Yeah.
already wrote for a lot of different
Mm,
sites, not just for Red Hat,
mm,
but
mm,
opensource.com. And I'm doing that as well for Enable Sysadmin, because I
mm.
think that's one way of sharing what
Mm,
we know and sharing our
mm,
thoughts on different technologies. So,
yeah.
yeah.
And to add to that, career-wise, that actually, writing an article goes a long way
Mm.
and has a longer mileage than speaking to a conference, for example. And the reason why I am writing, number one, is I want to share something to the reader
Uh-huh.
because I understand that specific
Yep.
topic. Also, is to build your brand, your
Mm.
personal brand. At the end of the day, you want to be relevant. in a conversation. When you are going to do or apply for another role, either within the current company that you're working on, or on another company, and having that list of articles that you can say, I wrote that, I know that subject,
Yep.
I am a subject matter on that adds a reputation, and that you can bring that in your conversation or interview.
Yeah, definitely. And once you write an article, it also like you're doing research as well. So it
That's
further
right.
enables you to like deepen your knowledge in something. So
Mm.
since
Yeah,
you
it's
already
learning
yeah,
twice.
since you already started
Yeah.
on that, Mike, I think it's
Mm.
just worth sharing
Mm.
probably a few lessons and tidbits. Yung mga ano ba, words of wisdom, if I would
Yeah.
say, like probably some of the things or some of the lessons that you've learned all throughout your career.
Oh yeah.
Just
Yeah.
to kick off the podcast, I think that's
Yeah.
yeah,
I can start, Joseph. That's
yeah,
not a problem. But you can you know
of course.
you can cut in and add something if I
Mm.
miss anything. Okay, because you know me and I know you, so we,
Yeah.
we know how things works in a professional level. So first and foremost, I think you need to be able to adapt to change.
Mm.
If you're a systems admin right now, don't aim to be a very good systems admin. Aim to be, aim on a bigger picture. Say, for example, as a systems admin, you want to grow into becoming a manager of the
Mhm.
systems admin, or you want to become a developer, or you want to become a solutions architect.
Or site
Prepare for that.
reliability engineer, stuff like that. Mm.
SRE, yeah,
Mm.
exactly. DevOps engineer.
Yeah.
But although DevOps and SRE for me is not a role, it's a principle
All
or
right. Let's talk
practice.
about that on another
But
episode.
yeah, but I would say be embrace change.
Mhm.
Make sure that you are preparing for the change, because change is constant, not only in career but overall in life.
Yep.
Number two is look for a mentor,
Mhm.
someone that can tell you good things, bad things, and the things that you can improve.
Yeah.
I've been mentored many times by different people, and I appreciate those experiences because I really learned from them. These are the people who's been there, done
Uh-huh.
that, and you can see how they handle different situation.
Yep. And if
And
I
you,
may just add to that, Michael, I think when it comes to mentorship, yung openness, because it's
that's
important,
right.
right? It's not always just the good things, but
Mm,
sometimes the toughest conversations, the crucial conversations are the ones that may hurt at the
absolutely.
beginning, but
Mm.
definitely makes you improve as a professional.
Absolutely, and that is really really important when it comes to career. Number three is know your worth.
Mm.
That is very very important. When you are doing a lot of good things and you're getting a lot of good feedback, make sure that these feedbacks can be recognized in return of a dollar sign, because at the end, yeah,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you are working not only for the company, but you're
Mm.
working for your family and
You also
yourself.
have your
So
needs.
knowing your worth is very very important, and always make sure that when you are going to your next job, you you get the maximum amount of package that you can negotiate
Uh-huh.
with the
It's
company.
one of the motivations, I guess, and it's a whole lot of things as well. It's a combination of that. But you're right. It's important.
That's true. So that's for me. The top three is basically adapt or prepare for change.
Mm-hmm.
Look for mentor. Mentor can help you a lot, and know your worth.
Yeah.
Those are the top three lessons that I would say I carry every day, and has basically helped me reach to where I am today. And I know I can do more, but it's right now it's just a matter of timing. It's a matter of opportunity that will come into my lap,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, when that time comes, I'll make sure that I'll get it and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's really cool. Thanks for that, Mike. Well, I think for me, one
How
of the
about
things that
you?
I normally tell my friends and my peers
Mm,
or my coworkers is that if you're doing something, you might as well give it your best shot because
that's right.
if something is not worth doing, then why waste your time? So I always like tell people in Filipino, gagawin mo na lang din, gawin mo na ng mabuti. That's what I keep on telling them. And
Mm,
because you always go the extra mile beyond what the initial expectations are, and I think
true.
that's how you really
Mm,
not really prove your work, but also contribute and to for example to the company and all that.
yes.
And speaking of going the extra mile, it's also getting out of your comfort zone sometimes because sometimes you just really get too comfortable in a position or
Mm,
perhaps in a job. And one controversial thing though is that I
mm,
actually always want to make myself dispensable on my current
mm-hmm,
role because it
mm,
just means if you're dispensable, basically it's either you've automated your job, which adds a good value to the company. You've
yeah,
documented everything so other people can do it, and then you can do the more interesting stuff as well.
that's right.
So it's
That's
one
right.
way. It's one way to move forward if your current job is all settled down because you've handled it well.
Mm.
So I
And
think
that's true.
that's one thing as well. And I think important then, Mike, is that we know how to collaborate with people, right? We
Very
should know
true.
how to
Yeah.
collaborate because, as I
Mm,
said, no man is an island. Like you won't
mm,
be able to survive it by yourself. I think you touched it a bit
mm,
earlier when you were speaking about your role on how
mm.
we leverage an entire fleet of experts in
Experts.
Red Hat to make sure that we can deliver for our customer
Mm,
because it's not just
mm,
us. And
mm,
it's a matter of collaborating with other
mm.
people. And we're doing that a lot as well here in New Zealand when we
Yeah,
organize meetups,
absolutely.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. So yeah.
Mm, mm. Yeah, that's cool. So when we tie it back, what you said actually also aligned to what I said because for me change
Mm.
means you need to prepare for that. You need to learn new things. You need to adapt to the new way of doing things. And
Correct.
one is automation. As you
Yep.
say, you want yourself to be dispensable. That's adapting to a change. Number two is mentoring. It's for me that is related to collaboration.
Correct.
You need to collaborate. Mentor can be a lot, can be multiple people within in a single within a period of time.
Hmm.
And that's very very important. And I would say, what's my other point?
Know your worth.
Know your worth. So when you do those things,
Hmm.
you can basically get the help of those mentors and raise your brand, as I
Uh,
mentioned to you. That's why you're writing, you're speaking in a conference, you are doing this meetup, because that's basically part of uh, uh, you know uh, creating a personal brand. At the end of the day, we as a IT professional is also a marketing or a brand manager.
uh-huh.
We time will come where basically we are selling the skills that we learn through experiences that we have. So we basically auctions our skills for them to to tell us how much our contribution will worth, and that's basically the dollar signs. And that's a good thing about that here in New Zealand, because I want to go back to the why we call our podcast PaNZIT, is
Hmm.
because yeah, the money that we get here as a professional, we really enjoy it.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then say we enjoy it because we also get the peace. We are able to enjoy the environment that we have. We have a very friendly Kiwis here,
Yep.
where everybody's smiling, everybody's happy to help. And I think, on top of every accolades that we have so far, living here in New Zealand is something that I'm very proud of.
Definitely. And not only proud, you mentioned it, something we really enjoy because we can do a lot of things in
Yeah.
here freely as of now,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
though like the world is on a lockdown.
During the pandemic. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think that freedom and the peace has no equivalent money.
Yep.
You cannot buy that. That's absolutely what we can enjoy here right now in New Zealand.
No, I think I couldn't agree more, and that's really cool. And for sure, in the future, if we speak to other IT professionals out there, they would also probably share the same thing, right?
Yeah,
There are things that are unique to wherever they
Mm.
are in any part of the world, and that's something they're
Yeah.
also proud or enjoying. So we're really keen
That's right.
to talk to other IT professionals across the globe
Yeah, yeah.
in the future. So
So yeah, so I was thinking, Joseph, because we are going to end the recording in a
yeah,
bit. So we also lined up a bit of a topics, and we wanted to reach out to our friends, our
Mhm.
fellow PaNZIT in New Zealand.
mga
Yeah, really.
kapansitan, yeah,
Mga kapansitan, to talk about career.
yep,
And I was thinking maybe we can invite, recruiters, or we can invite,
HR
uh,
practitioners.
yeah,
Mhm.
HR practitioners, or we can invite other IT practitioners, say programmer, because
Yep.
both of us are sysadmin, and we can hear their advice as well. And we will do recording for that. But also, we want to focus one from time to time talking about technology.
Exactly.
I love Ansible and OpenShift. I can talk about those technology even if I'm sleeping. So we can do that. The DevSecOps, the DevOps, the modern application development,
Open source, stuff like that.
service mesh,
Mm.
things like that. Edge computing. We can talk about it, and I would say maybe we can also share all the articles that we've written so far
Yep.
in when we upload this to YouTube, so that they can also see and understand what we have been writing lately.
Yeah, definitely, Mike. And as you said, we have a lot of topics that we can share to
Mm.
everyone, and that's the main goal of this PaNZIT podcast.
right.
And I'm really looking forward to that and excited.
Mm.
Right? We actually have a lot of things that lined up already, somewhat. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Cool.
hopefully people will be interested, and not only us, but if you guys have anything in mind that you want to talk
That's
or
right.
probably to discuss in the podcast, just let us know. Give us a message, hit us up so that we can plan that as well
Yeah.
in the future episodes. And
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah.
great, man.
Yeah, cool, awesome, and I'm happy that we've managed to done this with all the plannings that we have and
Yeah.
all the personal things that we need to take care. So
Correct.
currently it's a Saturday afternoon. We have a good day. I'm
Yep.
thinking of going kayaking again. So I
Wow.
planned the kayaking this morning. I'll do it again maybe this afternoon.
Now I'm actually going to a rugby match after this,
Awesome.
so that will be
Hurricanes,
exciting.
eh?
Yeah, Hurricanes versus Blues here in
Yeah,
Wellington.
yeah.
So yeah,
Ooh.
that's gonna be
Yeah.
exciting. Yep, bit
Yeah,
more
awesome.
energy in the stadium. So
Yeah.
again, Mike, thanks for the initial episode, and of course to those listening, thank you very much for your time. Thanks. Make sure that you I don't know if you subscribe or continue
Provide
to
feedback.
provide feedback, and also check for the future episodes that we have. And I just wish everyone well. Make sure you take care of yourselves and be safe all the time. So with that, we bid you farewell. Again, kia ora, maraming salamat, and thank you. Till the next episode.
We'll see you again, kapansitan.
All right, wag matutulog sa pansitan. Hey, thanks everyone.
All right.
Have a good one.
Okay.
Bye.
Cheers.